In 2005, a couple moved into an old Victorian house in rural England. It was December, and they were excited to celebrate their first Christmas in their new home. One night, as they were decorating the tree, they heard faint singing outside, traditional Christmas carols, sweet and melodic. Opening the door, they expected to find a group of carolers. Instead, the street was completely empty, blanketed in snow. Confused, they closed the door, but the singing didn't stop. It seemed to come from inside the house, echoing faintly down the halls. Over the next few days, the singing grew louder, always at night, and always the same haunting melody. They searched every corner of the house but found nothing. On Christmas Eve, the wife decided to record the sound with her phone. When she played it back, the singing was gone, replaced by faint whispers, "Join us, join us." Frightened, the couple called a local historian who revealed that their home had once been a church orphanage. On Christmas Eve in 1873, a fire had broken out, trapping and killing a group of children who had been singing carols in the main hall. The couple moved out the following spring, but they claim they still hear the ghostly carols whenever they pass by the house at Christmas time. In 2013, a young woman named Tara was spending Christmas Eve alone in her apartment. Her family was out of town, and she had opted to stay behind due to work. Around 11 p.m., she was relaxing on the couch when her phone rang. The caller ID showed unknown. When she answered, a deep, distorted voice said, "Merry Christmas, Tara. I'm watching you." Startled, she hung up, assuming it was a prank. But as she glanced toward her window, she thought she saw movement outside, a shadow darting past the glass. Moments later, the phone rang again. The same voice said, "Why don't you open the door? I've got a present for you." Terrified, she called the police, but they told her they couldn't do much unless someone actually tried to enter her apartment. At midnight, she heard a loud thud at her door. Summoning her courage, she looked through the peephole and saw a box wrapped in red paper sitting on the mat. She didn't open the door, and eventually, the knocking stopped. When the police arrived an hour later, they opened the box. Inside was a single photograph of Tara, taken from outside her apartment window. To this day, she has no idea who the caller was or how they knew where she lived. In 1998, a family in Nova Scotia decorated their Christmas tree in early December. They placed it in their living room near a large bay window, covered in twinkling lights and ornaments. Everything seemed normal until the week before Christmas, when strange things began to happen. One night, the mother woke up to the sound of rustling downstairs. Thinking it was her children sneaking around to peek at presents, she went to check. But when she entered the living room, she found the tree slightly moved, as if it had been dragged across the floor. None of the kids admitted to touching it. Over the next few nights, the family noticed the tree would be in a different spot each morning. On Christmas Eve, the mother stayed up late, determined to catch whoever was behind the prank. Around 2 a.m., she heard a faint tapping on the bay window. She turned to look and screamed. Outside, in the snow, stood a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes, staring into the house. The figure didn't move, but seemed to watch as if waiting. The mother ran to wake her husband, but when they returned, the figure was gone. However, the tree was missing, completely vanished from the living room. The family found the tree the next day, stripped of all decorations, lying in the backyard. They moved out shortly after and refused to celebrate Christmas for years.